aspect? Was this inspiration, experimentation, accident again?
All three.
Okay.
All three. The thing about accidents, I remember seeing a Paul Newman movie where he was an abstract painter, I think in Paris. And what he did, if anybody saw this movie, raise your hand. He put balloons with paint in front of his painting. And then he had a gun and he shot the balloon and the paint would spatter out. Anybody see that? I think Joanne Woodward said, well, that was making fun of the accidental quality. But an accident is an accident. But if you look at it and say that accident is just right, or part of that accident is just right, and so you use part of that accident, it is not an accident anymore. You made it part of your painting. Now, most of this is not accidental at all. But occasionally, it does happen where I say, oh, like you're putting something on and you expect to wipe it over a certain area because that was your goal. But you look at it as you put it on and say, wait a second. And you try to hold your hand before you wipe it. You say, oh, that's right the way it is. Stop. So you have to be flexible. Any other questions?
How long did that take?
This? I'm almost ashamed to tell you, but I do 5 at a time for 5 years. Because when you do a plastic shape, or it's not a shape, but it's flat, first you put down the color. Then you want to build up the acrylic, so you put another layer down, and it takes like at least a day, sometimes 2 days for it to dry enough to do that. So it could be 2 days, 3 days before you could even start putting something on it. And then you may not have a need for it for months, because I don't make them to order. When you make them to order, they become too forced. So I make a lot, like if I have downtime, if I'm waiting for paint to dry, I'll make a few shapes on plastic paper, plasticized paper, and let it dry. And then I'll go back to the painting, and I'll go back to the shape another day. So I have sheets and sheets of these units that I can use if they're appropriate. Yes?
In the brochure for the program, you compare your work to literature.
Yes.
And in the earlier talk, you talked about comparing it to music.
Yes.
Could you say something about your synesthetic view of art?
Yes. Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
A good Scrabble word.
Okay. Yeah. All that. I think that's too many letters. But anyway,